Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're really digging into something crucial, lead generation. We're going to extract the core strategies from a really comprehensive framework by a super successful entrepreneur.
Yeah, we've got a ton of material here. And the goal isn't just, finding some customers. It's about building a reliable, almost predictable system.
A system,
Yeah.
right? And the premise is kind of radical, isn't it? That
Yeah.
getting really good at this one thing, advertising, lead gen, can basically act as a safety net.
Exactly. It's like if you master getting strangers interested, truly interested in what you sell, it can compensate for maybe, say, less than perfect sales skills, or even if your product isn't quite there yet.
That does sound like a superpower for a business, like the ultimate advantage.
It cushions things. The sheer volume of interested people can make up for other gaps.
Okay, so before we dive into the how, the source material makes a really key distinction up front. It's not just about leads, right? It's something more specific.
Absolutely fundamental. It's about engaged leads. A lead, well, that's just contact info. An email, a phone number, doesn't mean they care.
Just data.
Right. An engaged lead, though, they've actively shown interest. They've, raised their hand, basically said, hey, I might want to buy your stuff. That's the real bottleneck we're trying to solve here, getting people to that point.
Okay, so step one is getting that engagement,
Okay.
which brings us straight to the lead magnet strategy.
The entry point. Could be a case study, a free trial, some kind of valuable content. The key is it has to offer real obvious value right away.
And it's not just random free stuff. There's a specific purpose behind it, isn't there?
Oh yeah, very specific. The lead magnet should solve a small, kind of narrow problem for your ideal customer.
And that solution then reveals a bigger problem.
Exactly. A bigger problem that your main paid product or service solves perfectly.
Okay, this is the salty pretzels analogy everyone talks about. Let's break that down because it really clarifies things.
It's a great analogy. So you're at a bar, right?
Yeah.
They put out free salty pretzels. That's the lead magnet.
Okay. Solves my minor hunger problem.
Right, that immediate narrow problem. But what happens after you eat those salty pretzels?
Thirsty. Really thirsty.
Bingo. The pretzels created or maybe revealed a much bigger problem? Thirst. And what does the bar sell to solve that?
Drinks. The core. Paid offer.
Exactly. They traded cheap pretzels for a likely higher margin drink sale. The lead magnet funneled you right to the main product.
So the design of the magnet is crucial. It has to lead somewhere specific. And what about the content inside the magnet? There's some strong advice there.
Yeah, this is key. Give away your best secrets in the lead magnet.
Really, give away the secrets.
Give away the secrets, but sell the implementation. You want that free thing to be so good, people think, wow, this free guide is better than courses I've paid for.
So valuable, they feel kind of dumb saying no.
That's the phrase used, yeah. Feel stupid saying no. The value exchange has to feel stacked in their favor.
Okay, and when you've got this amazing magnet, the leverage isn't necessarily in rewriting the whole thing over and over.
No, it's often in testing the presentation, the headlines, the call to action.
Right. I love the example about headlines. Just adding how-to made a huge difference.
Huge difference. How to get strangers to want to buy your stuff? Apparently crushed versions without the how-to. It shows that clarity often beats trying to be too clever. Simple and direct wins.
Makes sense. So you've got your killer lead magnet. It's tested. Now, where do you actually put it out there? This brings us to the core four, right?
Yep, the core four advertising methods. It's a way to simplify, the entire universe of marketing options into just four basic approaches.
I like simple frameworks. So it's based on two things, audience type and communication style.
Exactly. Is your audience warm, meaning they already know you, like at least a little bit? Or are they cold, total strangers?
Okay, warm or cold. And the other axis.
Communication. Are you reaching out one-to-one, like a personal message? Or one-to-many, like a social media post or an ad?
Got it. Warm, cold. 1 to 11 to many. That gives us 4 quadrants. Let's start with the easiest one.
Method 1. Warm outreach. That's one-to-one communication with a warm audience. Think your existing contacts, past clients, network connections.
And this is the cheapest, usually the most reliable starting point, even if your network feels small.
Absolutely. Even 50 relevant contacts can yield results here. But you need a way to do it without sounding spammy or desperate.
Right. Nobody likes the hard sell from nowhere. That's where the ACA framework comes in.
Yeah, ACA. Acknowledge, compliment, ask. Keeps it human.
Okay, walk me through that. Say I'm messaging an old colleague I haven't pitched before. How does ACA work?
So instead of just jumping in with, hey, buy my stuff, You first acknowledge something specific they've done recently, maybe a project, a new role, something you saw on LinkedIn.
Okay, show I'm paying attention.
Exactly. Then find a genuine compliment. Loved your insights on that panel, or always admired how you handle X. Make it real.
All right, acknowledge, compliment then.
Then you ask a relevant question. Something related to their work, their challenges, their goals. It opens a conversation naturally. The pitch, if it happens, comes way later if it makes sense based on their response.
Ah, so it's relationship building first. Much smoother. Okay, method 2.
Method 2, post free content. This is one-to-many to your warm audience. Think social media, blog posts, newsletters, videos to people who already follow you.
And the big insight here is about what the real asset is.
Yes. This is crucial. The content itself, like a single post, is fleeting. It disappears fast. The real compounding asset is the audience you build with that content.
So focus on growing the audience, not perfecting every single piece of content.
Precisely. The advice is volume over perfection. The source mentions a period where they decided to 10x their content output. Just pump it out.
10x, wow, what happened?
In 6 months, they got something like 1.2 million people to their audience across various platforms.
Right.
Volume worked.
Okay, volume builds the audience, but how do you eventually make money without annoying everyone who joined for the free stuff?
That's the give-ask ratio. Super important.
Yes.
But the recommendation is generous, like 3.5 or 4 to 1.
Meaning you give value 3 or 4 times for every one time you ask for something, like a sale or a sign-up.
Exactly. You provide so much consistent value that eventually people almost want to know how they can buy from you. They start asking you.
Give until they ask.
I like
Yeah.
that.
Okay, let's cross over to the tougher side now. Cold audiences.
Yeah.
Method 3.
Method 3, cold outreach. This is one-to-one, but to a cold audience. People who have no idea who you are.
This sounds like the advanced level. Predictable maybe, but hard.
Definitely harder. You've got 3 big problems. You often don't have their contact info, they don't know you, and frankly, they probably don't care about you initially.
So how do you break through that?
2 things primarily. Insane volume and what the source calls big, fast value.
Okay, unpack those. Volume first.
You absolutely have to treat it as a numbers game. No way around it. The suggestion is committing to, say, at least 100 outreach attempts per day.
100 a day. Wow, that's commitment.
It is. Personalization helps where you can, but sheer volume is often the biggest lever. And then there's big, fast value. You need to offer something compelling right away in your outreach.
Okay, and the final quadrant. Method 4.
Method 4, run paid ads. This is one-to-many to a cold audience. Think Facebook ads, Google ads, YouTube ads, targeting people who don't know you yet.
The fastest way to get eyeballs, potentially. But also the fastest way to lose money.
Exactly. It's the quickest path to massive reach if you get it right. But yeah, it carries the most financial risk, especially early on.
And the focus here, surprisingly, isn't on being super creative.
Not primarily, no. The focus needs to be on efficiency. Measure everything.
This is where the ugly ad story comes in, right? Tell us about that.
Yeah, it's a great example. An ad for a 6-week challenge. Apparently, it had 0 images, just text, all caps. Looked terrible, probably.
Sounds like something you'd scroll right past.
You'd think so. But it worked. It generated something like $5,700 in revenue from just a $1,000 ad spend.
Wow. So the message and the offer were just that clear and compelling.
Must have been. It proves that a clear offer that resonates beats slick production value, especially when you're testing. Efficiency trumps pretty.
Okay, but I have to push back a little.
Mm-hmm.
So many businesses pour money into amazing-looking creative. Why does this framework argue efficiency always wins, particularly at the start?
Well, creativity often adds cost and complexity without a guaranteed return. It's harder to measure directly. Efficiency, though, is purely about the numbers.
And there's a specific metric for that efficiency.
Yes, the crucial one is LTGP.cc, lifetime gross profit to customer acquisition cost.
Wow, break that down.
Basically, for every dollar you spend to acquire a new customer, that's your keys, how much profit do you expect to make from that customer over their entire relationship with you? That's LTGP.
And what's the target ratio?
You need to be aiming for at least 3.1, minimum. So for every $1 spent getting a customer, you need to reliably make $3 back in gross profit over time.
Below 3.1,
Yep.
you're struggling.
Below 3.1, it's very, very hard to scale profitably. You're essentially buying customers at a loss or too close to break even. Not sustainable.
Got it. 3.1 is the magic number for paid ads. Okay, so those are the core 4 methods. You do the work, you get leads. But that sounds linear. How do you get exponential growth?
That's the next level. Section 4 in the framework. It's about moving beyond doing the core 4 yourself. It's about leverage. using other people, the lead getters, to execute those methods for you.
Okay, lead getters. This is where scale happens. Who's the first lead getter?
Lead getter 1, your customers, through referrals, word of mouth. This is inherently exponential, unlike the linear effort of you doing all the outreach yourself.
And referrals are driven by goodwill.
Pretty much. The goodwill equation, as it's called here. You build goodwill when the value a customer gets feels consistently greater than the price they paid. They feel like they got a great deal.
Makes sense. Happy customers talk. But why do so many businesses fail at getting referrals even with happy customers?
2 main reasons, usually painfully simple. 1, the product or service is just. Okay.
Yeah.
It's not remarkable enough to talk about.
Average doesn't get shared.
Right. And the second reason, they just don't ask. They assume people will refer them, but they don't have a system, or they feel awkward asking.
So make something remarkable and then actually ask for the referral. Treat the ask like an offer itself.
Yeah. Frame it with a benefit, like the Dropbox example. Give storage to the person referring and the friend who signs up. Make it a win-win.
Smart. Okay. Lead getter 2.
Employees. Hiring people to do the lead generation activities.
This is how you move from having a high-paying job that depends on you to building a real asset, right?
Exactly. Scenario 1 is, you're the star, the business dies without you. Scenario 2 is, you've built a system run by employees that generates leads and sales. That's a sellable asset. It increases your net worth, not just your income.
But training employees to do something like cold outreach effectively sounds challenging. How do you make it reliable?
The 3Ds model. Document, demonstrate, duplicate.
Document, demonstrate, duplicate. Explain that.
First, you document the exact process that works. Every step, every script, every metric for, say, a successful warm outreach sequence. Make it a playbook.
So it's repeatable.
Then you demonstrate it yourself, showing them exactly how it's done according to the documentation.
Okay.
Finally, they duplicate it. They practice it, you give feedback, they practice again, until their results consistently match the standards set in the documentation. Takes the guesswork out.
Makes sense. Systematizes it. Lead getter 3. Agencies.
Yep, agencies. But the advice here is pretty disruptive, maybe even counterintuitive.
Oh, how so? Don't you hire agencies just to do the work for you?
That's the usual way, yeah. But the framework suggests hiring them strategically, almost like temporary teachers, not long-term dependencies.
Teachers. To teach you or your team.
Exactly. Hire an agency specifically to learn a new platform or a new method quickly. Maybe you want to master YouTube ads, and they're experts.
So you're hiring them for their knowledge transfer as much as their execution.
Right. The recommendation is to be upfront about it. Say, look, we want to work with you for maybe 6 months. We'll pay a premium if you'll thoroughly document everything you do and explain the why behind it to our internal team.
So the goal is for your team to learn enough to take it over and eventually outperform the agency.
That's the ideal outcome. The agency becomes a short-term accelerator and trainer, not a permanent crutch. Maybe they stay on for high-level consulting after.
That definitely flips the typical agency relationship. Okay, final lead getter, number 4.
Lead getter 4. Affiliates and partners. This is potentially the highest leverage of all.
Why highest leverage?
Because affiliates are essentially other independent businesses selling your stuff for a commission. You're tapping into their audiences, their marketing efforts. One good affiliate can be like having a whole extra sales team you don't manage directly.
Right. You get multiple streams of leads coming from different places. The source mentioned a crazy example.
Yeah, one super affiliate partnership apparently helps scale a company to something like $1.7 million a month in revenue in just 6 months. That's explosive growth.
Wow. And how do you activate affiliates effectively?
Big promotional launches are key, using methods like the whisper tease shout sequence to build buzz. Also, integrating your offer smoothly into theirs. For instance, an affiliate might give away your lead magnet as a bonus with their main product.
So it feels natural to their audience. Okay, that covers the core 4 methods and the 4 types of lead getters. It seems like the underlying theme popping up again and again isn't some magic trick.
No, not at all. It really comes down to volume. Relentless, consistent volume across whichever methods you're using.
The rule of 100 idea.
That's the practical application. 100 primary lead-generating actions every single day for 100 days straight. Whether it's 100 cold emails, 100 comments, whatever your key action is.
And the open to goal schedule? That sounds intense.
It is. It means you stop watching the clock. Your workday isn't over at 5 p.m. It's over when you achieve the specific outcome you set for that day. If getting 5 positive replies from cold outreach takes 3 hours, great. If it takes 12 hours, you work 12 hours.
That's a serious mindset shift. Commitment to the outcome, not the hours.
Exactly. Overwhelm the problem with focused input.
But it requires faith.
Right.
Especially when you're putting in all that volume and maybe not seeing results immediately. Which brings us perfectly to the final provocative thought. The story of the dice.
Ah, yes. The many-sided die fable. It's a great way to frame the whole process, especially the mental game.
Set it up for us.
Okay, imagine two players in a game. Player 1 gets a standard 20-sided die. Player 2 gets a massive 200-sided die.
Okay, 20 sides versus 200.
On each die, only one side is green, representing success, getting a sale, a breakthrough, whatever. All the other sides are red, representing failure or no result.
So player 2 has much worse odds on any single roll.
Much worse. Now, here's the crucial part. You, as a player in your business, cannot actually see how many sides your die has. You don't know your inherent luck or starting advantages or disadvantages.
Right, you don't know if you have the 20-sided or the 200-sided die.
Exactly. But here's the rule of the game. Every time you roll the die, meaning you take an action, you do your outreach, you run an ad, if it comes up green, success, one of the red sides on your die permanently turns green.
Ah, so every success improves your future odds.
Correct. Now, what typically happens, the player with the 200-sided die rolls red, 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 red. They get discouraged. They see player 1 hitting green occasionally. Eventually, player 2 quits.
Because it feels hopeless.
Feels hopeless. But think about it. The player who just keeps rolling, regardless of how many red sides they hit initially, is guaranteed to eventually hit green. And every time they do, their odds get better. If they simply don't quit, they will eventually turn enough sides green to succeed consistently.
So the lesson isn't about the die you start with.
No. It's about committing to keep rolling. For you, the listener, focusing on the inputs, the volume, the rule of 100, the core 4 actions, means success isn't really optional if you stick with it. It becomes almost a mathematical certainty.
You cannot lose if you do not quit rolling the die.
That's the promise.
A powerful thought to end on. We hope this deep dive inspires you to maybe start your own rule of 100 or just keep rolling that die. Until next time.